It is time for your WIN podcast for super busy professionals sharing transformational moments. Your host, Chu Tang.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to your WIN podcast. Today, I have my special guest with me, Alison. Welcome, Alison.
Hello, and thank you. I'm really happy to be here. It's going to be lots of fun.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Alison, would you share a scene in your life that you experienced a transformation and change your life forever from that point on?
Yes, I will. There's always lots of transformations and wins that we have, lots of little ones. But I remember one that really did shift my life. And so I was in my late 30s, and I'd always been really shy. I never spoke up for myself. I was filled with anger because I couldn't express myself, and I felt put upon by everyone, and didn't have a lot of friends, and it was just a kind of an ugly time in my life, and it just got worse and worse. So I decided that what I needed to do was learn how to shift a couple of things with myself. Right? It's everything that happens to me, and how I react actually is up to me, right? So I decided I would start out really, really small. And I had to take back some videos from the video rental store. And I knew that they were expecting me to pay a late fee for a video I'd returned a few weeks prior. And I was like 99% sure that I had not returned it late, and I didn't want to pay it. So I decided that instead of swallowing my anger and my frustration, that I would say something. So it took me about a week to prepare in my mind what I wanted to say and how I wanted to say it, and nicely, right? In a nice way. And so I finally had something like concrete that I could, like a script almost. So took my videos back. It was my turn up at the till. And he said, okay, great. And there's $4 extra from a late fee. And I said very calmly, outwardly anyway, that, I know that I paid that late fee, or that I returned the video, whatever it was that I had done. And then I was expecting to go into a really long-winded discussion of how I knew that I had returned it and it wasn't late. But he just looked at me, he said, oh, okay. And he took $4 off. And I was like walking on clouds, because it was the first time I could really remember standing up for myself, and having what could have been a confrontation, like deliberately walking into a confrontation. And it was so incredibly easy in that instance. And so it really bolstered up my confidence. Now, I did realize that not every discussion and confrontation that I was going to have for the rest of my life was going to be that easy. But it was such an eye-opener for me to know that I had a voice, and that I could use my voice. And so I started slowly being able to talk about things, to talk about what I was feeling, to identify what I was feeling, and really discuss it without crying, without cowering in fear, and without running away, right? Because those were sort of my go-tos, or getting angry. That was the big go-to. So It was like a really pivotal moment for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever forget it. I mean, as small as it may sound, right?
Big
It was
impact.
huge for me.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I was young, I was very shy too, and I was not allowed to talk.
Yeah. Me
And it
too.
was hard, right? I mean, it was hard that you just, kept that anger inside you. And yeah, so
Yes.
I proud of you that you took that courage to speak up, and that changed.
Yeah, it did, because then it just became a little easier to take a better look at my life
Yeah,
and how I wanted to live it and who I wanted to be and
yeah,
how I wanted to feel inside.
yeah,
And it's still a process, right? And it's an ongoing process. But for the most part, I like who I am now.
yeah. And you helping people to speak up.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
encouraging people to be authentic and speak up. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing this story. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's good. I think that women in particular need to really help each other
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and bolster us up, right?
Yeah.
Um, because most of us have that voice in the back of our head that tells us that we're not good enough and we're not enough
Mm-hmm.
and we're too fat or we're too thin or whatever it might be.
Yeah. Yep.
But that voice just is in the back of our head a lot.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah,
Yep.
it's it's good, right? It's good to reach out and it's good to tell your friends that they're awesome people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like you're doing a good job just by being you.
Yep. Yep. I cannot imagine how I live my life without my female friends. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they believe in me more than I believe in myself. I'm
Hmm.
so grateful. So grateful. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And isn't it funny that our friends believe in us more than we do ourselves?
Yes. Yes.
Um, you know, we should be our own champion, but we're not.
Yeah. 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 You're right. You're right. And we're so forgiveful, to our friends, anything, unconditional. But then, yeah, but we put a lot of condition on ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah. So, any last word of wisdom to share with our listeners?
Hmm. Yeah, I think so. I think one of the things that we need to do on a daily basis and maybe every hour is
Mm-hmm.
really be kind to ourselves
Mm-hmm.
and to literally pat ourselves on the back for doing a good job. And some days doing a good job may be just getting out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
Other days it may be some awesome win.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're here, we're alive. We made it through another day. And in my case, the sun is shining today and the snow is melting. And so
Oh,
it's lovely. It helps my mood and to really
yes.
be aware of it. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Before this podcast, I just took a walk and it's beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. Sunny and I could hear the birds singing. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So if you guys like this episode, come back and then until then, stay happy and hopeful. Thank you, Alison.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share. See you soon at Your Win Podcast.